Hello everyone, welcome to this AI India tour. Right, this is Lakshit Pant from Azure Developer Community, and today we are today through this AI India tour. We'll learn something around AI. We will learn. I'll give you a quick gist about what does at present what we are looking for, how this India tour looks like, what are the expectations you can set as an India to from this India tour, what are the future announcements. I'll quickly highlight a couple of things. Right, there are some challenges that are going on right now in the industry that will help you to get AI certified with Microsoft. So there are a couple of things we'll cover in this 1.5 hour or maybe roughly around 2 hour session, right? So and also I'll be keep so this is my pretty much kind of a habit where I keep sharing all those resources with you. All right, so I have a couple of resources, maybe from a productivity tool per se, from a developer per se, from a better development practices per se. I have a couple of things to share. I'll share these things. I'll drop all these links in the chat box. So feel free to explore these tools, right? That I'll be sharing in this entire session, right? This is going to be hands-on, right? So if you do not have your laptops, I'll suggest just keep your laptop charged on. We will something half an hour. I'll quickly explain about the new terms that are coming in the AI field. Then I'll quickly jump to some of the generative AI, some of the Microsoft Azure aspects. Then we will jump off to the generative AI part, right? So let's divide this. Maybe I'll just quickly share my screen, right? Just give me a second. So that okay, cool. Let me know if my and feel free to drop any question, any doubt in the if you feel like you have any doubt, any query in the comment section, right? So feel free to drop any query, any doubt in the comment section. It's pretty much open all the time. I'll share my inputs right in the middle of the screen, right? So yeah, we are here now. Hi, hello Chandan. I remember, right? You are also doing 100 days of cloud, right? Yeah, I remember you. So yeah, this is what accept. No, I don't want to sign up. So I'll quickly divide the content what we are going to cover in this entire aspects, right? There are a couple of things we'll quickly do until unless and they're like AI Odyssey, we will talk about AI Odyssey tool, we will talk about generative AI. We will also talk about some different aspects that will help you out. So we will talk first, we'll talk about generative AI, then we'll talk about future of Gen AI. Then we will talk about business aspects of Gen AI, Azure and Gen AI, Machine Learning Studio, and Azure and generative AI, and then we will also cover. So this is going to be our. I'm just making a quick agenda so that you know right what we are going to cover today. At last, we will also cover AI. Okay, my bad. AI Odyssey tool. What's in it? How to utilize this time? What to learn it? What to learn at the moment, and where to okay, perfect. So these are this is more like a high level agenda that we have for today, right? I'll try to touch upon these aspects in today's live stream, right? Uh, yeah, hello everyone. I see a couple of folks here. Hi Abhishek, Gamer Word, Shweta, Abhishek Gupta. Oh, okay, we have some drummer here as well. Kalpana, Heavenly Giving, Abhishek, Kanak, everyone. Hello everyone, right? So yeah, maybe your teacher do not know yeah who yeah, some Ronaldo fan here also I can see, right? Yeah. So let's move ahead with the right agenda, right? So this is pretty much the agenda that we will cover, and I'll also keep you informed about Azure, how to get started, right? Uh, how to get started as a student. Okay, I have resources, initiatives we have. So these are the couple of things that we are that we will be doing in the next 1.5 hour from now onwards, right? So let's quickly dive into the our session. I'll quickly share my screen, right? My screen is already shared, right? So here you can see this is there are two aspects of generative AI, right? First, that industry tells you about, that you see on your reels, that you see on your maybe some kind of newsletter, some kind of maybe in your friend circle and everything. And then there is the another aspect of artificial intelligence, right? So first we will talk about your aspect, what you see all in the industry. Then we will talk about my or maybe from the industry per se, how we see generative as AI as a future. By the way, again, not like a shout out, but again, these all these tools are present, or all these tools are present here in the tool, right? So this PPT is also generated by maybe this AI tool, that is Gamma AI. We will also understand how these tools are really capable of generating these kind of AI tools, or maybe AI, how these AI tools are really working, what are the working, how the prompt works, right? What is the NLP process that works in behind these processes, what are the other, how these algorithm works, right? I'll talk about every aspect of generative AI, right? So see, if we talk about generative AI, like it is divided into two aspects. First is generative, second is AI. Generative is all we already know, right? Like that somebody, something that generates or evolve, right? Maybe creation, maybe some kind of that per se. And what is AI? You are well versed with the term AI in at present, because you all are very fortunate to be present at this revolution that is going in and around the industry with AI. Because, and what does the AI include? It includes everything: images, text, maybe everything, right? Speech, voice, everything: images, text to image, speech, voice, everything. There are so many things, data, different types of data that you can feed to AI. It is all about data. So when someone talks to you about data, you have some so earlier what used to happen, if we talk about, if we discuss about some maybe 2 3 hours, maybe 21 to decade before, we used to couple a lot of data, right? So that we can use sometime this part of data. But now we have tried to we have started from that storing perspective to the optimization perspective. Now we are picking up this data, running to running it through multiple algorithms, generating some output, and using that particular output in some different aspects, right? This is particular, everyone, you can see the chat GPT, it has been trained on 246 billion parameters, right? So what is this? When I say parameters, there are a couple of more than 246, I guess, maybe something around billion parameters, maybe petabytes of parameters it has been trained, right? So what are these aspects that led to generation of AI, and how this came, right? It is pure play training data and wide range of applications. You pick up some data, you run some algorithms, you filter that data, and then utilize as per your use case, right? So I do not want to emphasize on the generative AI definition, because you already know what does the generative AI do. It has the it's like it has the diverse capability. You might have seen pattern recognition, everything it can do, right? It can generate images, it can make maybe generate text, it can generate this PPT entirely generated by this generative AI part, this AI tool, right? Everything, like it can do video generation, fake video creations, and we can see right now there is one more application like deepfake, right? Deepfake we can see in the industry. So these are all the diversified capabilities of artificial intelligence. But when people say that AI is something that will lose their job, AI will take the job, it's not like that, right? Only people who don't learn at present how to work efficiently with AI, they are going to suffer. I'll say, not even I'm not saying they are going to they are going to be replaced, but they are going to suffer for sure. Those who do not right now adopting AI in their daily practices, right? Doesn't it really doesn't No one cares if you do not, if you have to do some manual task that can be resolved by using AI and you are not doing it. And AI not better, but what you can always do, generate it with AI, artificial intelligence, and put your flavor into it, right? It's not like you have to copy and paste exactly everything and do. You have to remove all the manual work. It's not possible. But you can, the R&D part, or maybe from inspiration perspective, you can just pick up something. You can just, because if we see more, right? I'll tell you with an example. right? If I'll tell you one example of Azure, how to learn Azure, right? If I'll tell you the technical concepts directly, you won't able to understand anything. But I'll tell you in very layman terms from your language, like in the top Gen Z language, I'll tell you what how to get started with Azure. So you will feel like the more you knowledge you have from an inspiration perspective, you can see the things, you can build the things, right? So while you are practicing DSA, while you are practicing some any kind of web development or any kind of learning language, right? If you can see the solution there, then all together you can build the solution as well, right? But if you are just on the problem right now and just trying to figure out something, it's very tough for you to right now explore. It's not a good practice. That's why you, because this is, if you will evolve, if you will apply generative AI in every aspects of your life, you will lose logical thinking, right? You will lose logical thinking. But where it's required, please do so, right? So it's more about training and optimization perspective and sharing some realistic output. I was working with some organization who, these people are working in some AI interview tool, and they have been working on this tool since 2016. So this is not a new term that I'll say, right? So it's like humans are multidimensional, right? When I say multidimensional, human can can do multiple tasks at a time, multitask at a time, right? They are built like this. But from a AI perspective, whatever type of data you will feed to an AI, to an to an tool, right, to a model, it will generate the same output, right? But there are some edge cases as well, where I'll say, you if you know the concept of Z short learning, right? There is one concept or in the artificial intelligence that is Z short learning. Okay, this doesn't seems good. That is yeah, that is Z short learning, right? What does a Z short learning do? It's like, suppose I have given an image, or maybe if I have given an image of horse, if the data is has been trained of an image of an horse, right? And I tell my model that you have to detect that my ultimate goal is to detect a zebra, right? So what is my goal? Goal is to goal is to detect a zebra. Okay. Now this AI model has been trained on horse, right? Horse pictures, maybe it has been trained on horse pictures. Now, if I tell this AI model that a zebra resembles an horse, zebra resembles a horse in some in height aspects, in look wise aspects, it resembles a horse. So what does this mean? This model will infer that a zebra looks like a horse, but it has one more property, that it's black and white in color. Black and white in color. So if I'll try to input an image of horse, it will image of zebra, it will this AI model will be able to you know interpret that this is a zebra, right? But ultimately that data, that machine learning model was trained on example on on the data of horses, right? It was never trained. So what we call this is what we call Z short learning. So what happens in Z short learning? It is trained on one particular data. It was trained on it was particular on horse data, right? Now it was trained on horse data, and now we are just telling it like the horse resembles a zebra, right? And it is black and white in color. The zebra is black and white in color. Then because it is self-generating input, right? It's like your AI tool is also learning from its own data, from its own inputs. The AI tool is learning, right? This is what it means by this concept of Z short learning. So it's not like you are, so if you will make a data, so there are two type of traditional learnings, but you already know, right? Unsupervised, supervised, reinforcement learning, all these learnings are always present in the, you can always look out for the definition. I'm not going to, because all these things are already available on internet, but I'm trying to tell you which are highly ignored in the industry, right? Like Z short learning, not very few people talk about this Z short learning concept, right? So it was all about, it's about more than from a machine learning aspect. So you have trained your machine on particular thing, but your machine is also learning throughout the journey. That's what we call Z short learning. Now moving up a bit more ahead, that's what Now that was the, that's the fear of maybe a kind of a human, or maybe these, or maybe kind, maybe these, maybe the big OGs, right? Why they are feared about AI? What if the AI starts self-learning process and it just takes over some things, right? So there has been one case study. I'll share with you the research paper by the end of this session. So these Chinese folks have built this robot Sia, named Sia, which they were trying to, make it very, kind of maybe, where they were trying to match the human intelligence, and Sia has passed the human intelligence, and then they just banned the project. There were a couple of things that it was very confidential, but again, due to some, black hat hackers, it was out. They were, then these government, these, again, multiple people are sanctioned in that project, right? People can always search it, and only, it on the Google. It was Sia project on of China, right? You can always search for it. So it was learning from a learning perspective. Right now we are thinking from an automation perspective. Why we learn AI, right? Why we are learning artificial intelligence now? Why AI? Because it is all about time. It is all about time, right? So suppose time and money. It is all about time and money, I'll say. Earlier we used to do some kind of computations, and it took us maybe more than maybe years to compute those aspects, right? So suppose if you have to transfer some kind of data, maybe if you have to, right now we have words, if you have to transfer some kind of images or files, or maybe any kind of doc files, right? It would have been, it would take around maybe 1 to 3 days for you to transfer through STTP protocol, right? STTP protocol, before the origin of World Wide Web. So these protocols, HTTP protocol was there, but it used to take ages, maybe days to, transfer all these stuff. But now you can see we have WhatsApp live, right now we are live streaming this up. So it is very easy, right? How this evolution happens, every time the evolution happens because of the time. So why one should consider your AI, tool, right? So if you are from a building perspective, you are thinking of building an AI tool, right? Or solving a use case, or starting a startup under the AI ecosystem, you should your AI tools, it should maybe, there can be only two aspects: either you save someone's time, or you save someone's money. Why? How money? I'll tell you. So if I'm running my machine learning model, if I want to run my own machine learning model in my on-premise solution, right? If my on-premise solution, I want to learn those machine learning models, I have to set up the compute cost would will cover over around 5 crore 6 crore rupees to me. The compute cost will be around 5 6 crores for me, right? But but if I try to, I'm sorry, there was some. But if I try to maybe explore, maybe from a, now if we have a cloud computing, right? Cloud computing. I'll tell you what does the cloud computing do. If we talk about cloud computing stuff, we can just all do all the computation per maybe fraction of seconds. You can just learn these machine learning models. So we either you save someone's time or you save someone's money, right? Either you reduce the time or you save someone's money. So this is from a broad level. You have to understand this is what the particular use case about the AI aspects. Either you save someone's time or save someone's money, right? That's why anyone is going to invest in you. So again, let's get back to our topic, right? Where we were earlier, right? It is all about realistic output that you can generate, and it, the it is more about optimism, and how you can just generate the realistic output. It is more about your clarity and the context that you can provide. So suppose if you will go to today, if you will go to chat gpt, and you will say to chat gpt that give me an article, give me maybe uh, uh, tell me about generative AI. If you will just ask, tell me about generative AI, and again there is one more input you will give by providing the context. Behave as a senior AI engineer. Tell me the concept of generative AI. Now you will see the difference in the output of both the things, right? You will see the difference. So here it will talk about a little bit more technical terms, right? But here it will talk about more generic terms. So this is the difference that comes in the, you when you provide some kind of context, right? You have to set up the context so that you can generate most optimum output for yourself, right? This is the, again, the one important thing that everyone is talking about right now. Now when we talk about these applications, we see application everywhere right now. You can see these AI tools, maybe like so there is one app, like you can see that, you know we have started from, maybe this DALI was the first AI tool that got the limelight of the industry, right? Like everyone was curious. Lensa is the one where everyone was creating their cute avatars, right? Lensa.ai, everyone was using Lensa.ai to create their cute avatars through AI, artificial intelligence. Then these people moved around DALI, where they were creating some artistic images using DALI, right? Then it came to, maybe they did Drowner. Then people switched to entertainment, music, everywhere, art, making raps, making everything. You might have seen those funky raps of, maybe the voice are not the original authors. Maybe sometimes our honorable prime minister is, doing some kind of garba or some kind of singing of music. That's not the original, right? We have been, so the applications are in every industry. Entertainment, healthcare is the biggest segment, and the research is the biggest segment in the industry, because here, when we talk about artificial intelligence, it's more about anatomy, neurological science. It's in anatomy, it has such a great example. I'll quickly share it to you. If you will see, if you will search this term Z anatomy, right? I'll show it too. You can see anatomy. I'll show this to you. Just give me a second. I'm just trying to find out the right link. If this is the one, this is the one. Is it the right link? Yeah. So if we'll see, this is kind of a visualizer of the human anatomy, right? So this, again, this is more of a 3D model kind of stuff, right? Where they have built the entire molecular structure of human body using 3D, 3JS, new atlas, build the entire new atlas of the human body using all these things, right? If you have to run, if I let's try, if we run the visualizer, right? It's if I run the visualizer, maybe I'm not sure. Like you can see all the human atlas running right over here, right? So now if we try to remake this took maybe 6 years of time to generate the project, right? It took 6 years to make this entire project, and maybe more than 300 people have worked on this particular project. So this is a project by one of the guy named Louis Vincent, and got here, they have built this entire Z anatomy project, right? So this is again made by Unity. They have invested 6 years of their time to build this atlas, right? You can see, again, this is the kind of atlas that they have built, right? So, but again, there are a couple of things which you can always explore in this. Know how to utilize it. So if I try to regenerate all these stuff with AI, if you have seen Firefly, Adobe Firefly, if you have seen, that is again a very great example of what Adobe has done, right? It's like you can regenerate the images, repurpose the images. Maybe some people are already utilizing this. Maybe so if someone's maybe some kind of gardens are not present in the industry, in the right now in this world. So right, they are just creating those pictures. So everything is possible. This is more from a healthcare and research perspective, where we are just generating the medical images, drug discovery, and research purposes, where we are exploring what are the research purposes of this generative AI term, right? So we have moved so far, right? I'll tell you where we have moved, right? And if we talk about, again, this is very much, pretty much everyone knows about this, right? How the generative AI things work. You collect some data, you train the model, and you do the integration as per your use case, right? Everyone knows about this. But the challenges comes, like, there what are the basic level challenges? First is data quality, second is ethical consideration, third is regulatory compliance. So what is data quality? If you do not have maybe high quality data, then you won't be able to generate the high quality content, right? If your data is not filtered, if your data has not really good parameters or labels, you would not be able to generate good quality output, right? This is the one major problem with challenge with generative AI. Ethical consideration will remains always at the priority. Like, you can't control all these. So someone, if eKYC happens using this Aadhaar card and whatnot, right? If today I try to bypass this, these AI tools have already bypassed all the eKYC things, right? So how vulnerable our systems got, if we discuss about this, right? And if you have to roll back, what is the solution? There is kind of a no solution for this. So if I have to tell you an example, So today, if government, so let's suppose, let's take an, let's I'll quickly explain you this and this example. Today, this is the AI model, and today, if government thinks of fingerprinting, maybe they put a label here. So this image is generated by AI. So your AI tool will generate. This is generated by DALI. This is generated by Lensa. This is generated by this particular AI tool, or maybe Llama model, or whatever, right? What if I download this and maybe I download this and again I pass this through multiple other open source model. See, with the companies which can be fingerprinted, but what if I pass through these four open source models? No, and this is my final output. No one will be able to understand if this is generated by AI or not. One can put the compliance and regulations over one particular aspects. If today maybe Microsoft or maybe these big companies like Tesla, OpenAI, Google, and everything, they will just decide that let's shut the AI innovation, and let's keep it, let's regulate it, right? Let's regulate it as soon as possible. Maybe just so that maybe kind of fingerprint or thumbprint, or maybe not thumbprint, but from an AI perspective, I'm saying like kind of a label. Let's provide a label to all the AI creations, right? If they try to do something right, what if that? What about the open source model, right? I can simply go to github.com. I can simply go to github.com, and or maybe I can simply search for Llama AI models, Llama index. I can simply search this. I can download the entire document. I can download the entire data. I can download the entire model. I can run this entire thing in my own through my solution, and no one will be able to judge like this is generated by AI or not, and that these scams keep on happening, right? So how to stop this? So this is a major issue, and to be very honest, no one has this answer at present right now. No one, everyone who tells you that they know the answer, that this is how they can ethically implement AI, they are just making a fool of yours. At present, there is no solution exist in the market which can really stop these generations, or maybe stop scams that are coming out with the applications of AI. There is no regulation that at present in the moment, right? So that's why government, government told about deepfake, right? So Rashmika Mandana's deepfake was viral. There were some couple of other celebrities whose deepfake, like Modi's deepfake was viral. So how they can simply comply? They can either they can just ask these social medias to what if any kind of deepfake comes up, just block these, maybe just delete those aspects, right? They can set up a compliance layer there. But again, if the person is not using any kind of social media, they are using internet, again that is not possible. So it's like right now at present there is no existing solution when it comes to the maybe the gray area of generative AI. There is no optimum solution present in the industry, right? If now let's jump off to the from your perspective, how you can learn generative AI and how you can start your generative AI journey from here, right? So it's all start with Azure Cloud. So I'll tell you how to start your journey with generative AI using Azure Cloud. But before generative AI, you should know what is cloud, what is Microsoft Azure, and how you can start with all the aspects of generative AI through Microsoft Azure, right? So we'll start through this, but I'll cover this later, right? I'll quickly see what if we are on the right path or not. So, what we were talking, where we were this we have covered. This we have covered. Okay, business aspects. I'll show you quick images, right? If I have these images with me, this will give you a broad aspects of generative AI, right? Maybe I can. Oh, I might have deleted these images. Let me restore these images, right? So I have downloaded these images, which will kind of give you a broad idea what does the generative AI does, right? And how from a industry per se, how tough it is to explore all these terms. Okay, give me 1 second. I'll just quickly show it to you. Okay, this is from a Azure perspective, right? I want to show you not this one. Is this the one, right? Just give me a second. From business perspective, yeah, this is the one. So what you do when you talk about Azure, this is your user, right? On the left hand side of your screen, this is kind of a user. Here you put all your cloud devices, right? Here you put all your cloud devices. Here are your users. This is your cloud premise. This is your entire cloud architecture, right? I'll explain you everything right over here. Don't do not worry about these architecture diagram. I'll explain you each and everything. I'll explain you what is public, private, what is delta link transaction data. I'll explain you each and everything. Then you took this, you take this data, you run through it generative AI, you add this AI layer over here. This works like a middle layer. You run through the output, then you generate whatever, whatever use case your, howsoever your output value comes, or howsoever it can help you, generate these output values from business perspective. Right now, what is happening in the industry, companies are picking what companies approach. I have seen these couple of startups which are trying to solve the problem, which are trying to exist in the market. What they are really doing is they are thinking from this perspective that we have to put some solution in the industry, what we can build using AI. They are not thinking what problem we can solve and what part of it can be solved using AI, what part of our problem can be solved using AI, but they are thinking from a perspective of how we can just solve, how we have AI, how we can maybe create a problem and solve it using this AI particular tool. So again, this is the pathetic approach of any founder out there, right? Because every industry, because maybe kind of a FOMO reason, like I can say, because every industry right now, if they do not adopt to AI, they will feel like we are getting saturated. We are just getting away from the industry. Suppose it is, let it be Google, let it be Meta, let it be any industry, right? Everyone is putting their hands into the artificial intelligence after Microsoft announced the collaboration with OpenAI, right? Earlier, there was nothing like Meta was already always focusing around the metaverse aspects. So this is, but at present, every company is focused around artificial intelligence. Why? They have just switched their focus around, because if they don't, then it will be a big problem. Like they will maybe in some kind of newsletters and some kind of PRs and some kind from a marketing perspective, it feels like a they are being outdated. So that's why they are just trying to build this stuff, right? If when was this Chat GPT was, everyone saw that those memes and everything, that it took only 7 days for Chat GPT to reach 100 million users, right? To you reach 100 million users, Chat GPT took only 7 days, while Google and all these, while YouTube, Instagram, all these took around maybe more than a year, or maybe more than 3 years, 4 years, right? So to compete those matrices, these organizations are just rushing after the AI, that let's try to pick AI and solve a problem. But it's not the case. This is not how it's gonna work. It's more like a use case needs to be defined right from you. And trust me when I say this, if we talk about these big industries of, like maybe if I talk about from Microsoft per se, because I really work closely with Microsoft has zero, maybe thoughts or maybe interest in generating some really kind of these AI tools, maybe some kind of hack tools for you. So it's you who can build some kind of, or make some kind of automation tools that can really solve the problem. They are very happy with the cloud stuff, right? They will give you the compute power, they will give you the GPUs. You can use their GPUs to run your AI machine learning models and generate some output, but they will never step into this ground level of industry where there has been so much compliance, where there is so much, again, there are so many questions involved, so many negative PRs involved. They will never jump off to this term, right? So this is something very fishy when I say, and definitely everyone should try to build some products out of this generative AI thing, and try to explore what are the aspects of generative AI. I try to build something out of generative AI and try to make your product, launch it to product hand. So this is what the product hand looks like. You will see every, if I'll show you the, if I'll show you the, every, this wasn't the case when maybe 2 3 maybe 1 year back, but every startup that, or maybe organization, or maybe the idea that you can see on product hand, you will see AI involved. Flimper AI, Promptly AI, again, this is something else. This is AI. So 90% part of this product hunt is now AI. Before Sunset AI, and all these, there are all these, this boiler AI, GPT point over there. Entire product hunt, all these marketplaces are now flooded with AI, right? So you just have to find your use case and try to solve this problem, right? Just find your use case and try to solve this problem, right? Maybe this is not the right place for me to put out these things. You can just maybe you should make if you are just that fan of making some kind of this stuff, you should start your own Instagram channel. Again, same goes with this for the. It's pretty easy for me to do this. I'll just make sure there is no spam in the comments. Yeah. Okay, I saw one more. I saw one more. I saw. Perfect. Now let's go to the Azure stuff where how you can just start your journey with Microsoft Azure and how you can start practicing these AI terms, right? So business aspects we have already covered. Now Azure in generative AI, how you can just get started with Azure in order to learn generative AI, right? So there are a couple of aspects. You can just simply search for Microsoft Azure for student, right? You will get this link, and here you can just simply know what does the cloud do, what is this internet Azure, what is this, what is this cloud is all about, right? So cloud is what is cloud? If we think from a high level perspective, what does the cloud do and how it really works? It's like you are using someone's compute. So suppose, right now you might not be in your hometown, you might, you are going into your college, and there is might be a case where you are, you know going to some place. Maybe, you have, you are in a new city, you are in a new place to, explore for better learnings, for better exposure, or whatever your reason is, right? You are there in a new city to learn these stuff, to learn the to get some degree or whatever, right? So same thing goes with the cloud as well. For better performance, for better data, to scale our company, it's not possible to scale a company on premise. It takes, millions of dollars to invest. After that, you can just scale to a limit. There is a fixed cap limit by which you can just, by which you can scale, right? Whenever we are thinking from that perspective, that we have to increase our company size, we have to scale our company, right? It's, you have to, by anyhow you have to opt cloud as well, right? You have to cloud, I'm sorry, you have to cloud by any chance, right? Because it's not possible to scale without cloud. Cloud helps you to get better resources, to get everything. If it is compute, it is data, it is maybe kind of a services, it is kind of a manpower, everything. Cloud covers everything. Cloud got you for everything. Right now, how you can get start your journey with Microsoft Azure? It's pretty much simple. You just have to, so you should buy a subscription. How you get a subscription of Azure, right? Again, the same thing, right? Like you buy Netflix subscription, you buy, your Hotstar subscription, you buy all these subscriptions, right? Same thing works in the cloud as well, right? You have to get your credits. You should get your credits, right? How you can get your credits? I'll show it to you. So as a student, there are a couple of benefits, right? You get, so there is this detailed blog that I have written inside around this. Let me show it to you how you can just start, right? Yeah, here it is. This is the only article that will help you from zero to ground level. This will help you entirely. This will help you to the eternity, right? Maybe this is like the one stop guide for you to get Azure credits, right? I explained more than maybe 7 8 ways by which you can get Azure credits for free. First is Azure for students, right? You can just click on this link, go through this link. Azure for students. Azure provide these $100 credits for you to free utilize this for free. All you need to do is sign up using your college email ID, right? You just have to sign up using your college email ID and you will get $100 credits for free, right? But by any chance, while you are signing up through your college email ID, you get something kind of this. Sign up करते वक्त अगर आपको कुछ इस तरीके से आता है that your email domain is not currently registered with us, you can choose another verification method. Then what you can do is you can simply maybe you can go with the second option. What is the second option? With the free trial, right? I have explained all the scenarios. So this is again, this is one way to start as a Azure free service. Again, you get maybe these kind of services that you get for free for 12 months. You get all these services for free as a student, right? Now there is one more way, that is Azure free account. You can just create a free for Azure for student. There is no credit card, nothing, no credit card, debit card, nothing is required for Azure for students. For Azure free account, you need a debit card that has international transaction open, right? So if your card allows international transaction, just sign up for this Azure free trial. You will get 30 days free trial. You will get these $200 for free, and just start with Azure credits, and it won't charge you anything unless you tell you to charge yourself, right? It's like you pay for what you use. It's not something like if you are not using anything, you won't be get charged, right? You won't get charged if you're not using it. If you are using it, then only you will get charged, right? Again, and do not worry about these free trial, because you can always you know close this free trial after 30 days. It's not like they will deduct your money without your consent. They will ask you that you want to pay for this again. If you don't, then they never deduct your money without your consent. And third thing is GitHub Student Developer Pack. Again, this is like a gem for every student out there, right? This is more like a gem for every student out there. This is the GitHub Student Developer Pack, which you can always explore, and this helps you out. So I was telling about the resources. I'll drop in the comment section, right? Here you can get started with your AI journey, right? You can see this Microsoft Azure credits for you get these Azure credits for free, right? You get these Azure credits for free, and also you get this prompt engineering course from AI from GitHub as well, right? You can get this prompt engineering course, right, from OpenAI as well, right? You also get GitHub Copilot access, right? You also get GitHub Copilot access through this maybe through this GitHub Student Developer Pack. So you get the Azure credit $100 credits for free. You can utilize this credit. You can utilize these resources for your learning purposes, and there are some other resources as well. Like you can use this. You can use Bootstrap Studio. You can use GitHub Pages to host your website. You can use Hack MIT to learn something. You can use Front Masters if you want to learn something. Front Master has really some good courses available, right? So Datadog is available, Icon Scout is available, developer option. So these are a couple of tools that are already available. You can explore this, but our main focus is on the Microsoft Azure. You get $100 credits here for free. You can utilize these $100 credits for your educational purposes. You do not need, some people have this misconception that you need this maybe the college ID for GitHub Student Developer Pack. No, you don't. You only need Azure. If you do not have a college ID, you can show them your card, your maybe the ID card that you get from your college, right? Or maybe the pay slip, maybe the fees payment slip that you can also show that as well in order to get your Azure, GitHub Student Developer Pack. Then there is something called Microsoft for non-profits. You can just simply, if you are associated with any kind of non-profit organization, this is the best place to again explore. This link will give you how you can just explore you can get some kind of you will get 2000 you got $3,500 Azure credits for free annually. Per year you will get this much credits for free in order to run your all your compute powers and everything, right? This is more like a maybe kind of a yearly budget that you get. And then there is something, if someone is willing to, if already having a startup, established startup, you can always apply for Microsoft for students, right? This will help you out. Microsoft for partner network, this will you will be as so it's like you will get $100 per month, and there are some other ways by which you can get all these things for free, right? Yeah, so there are a couple of aspects of it. Then there is something like Visual Studio subscription. So explore all these things that I've shared. Microsoft Imagine Cup. Anyone in third year or fourth year of their anyone in fourth year of their college, Microsoft Research Fellowship is open. Please apply to it. Please apply to Microsoft Research Fellowship. You will get Microsoft Microsoft Research Fellowship applications are open. It will remain open only till 19th, maybe 14th, 16th of February. So you quickly apply to the Microsoft Research Fellowship, right? And you get a couple of things. You get fundings, you get money, you get stipend, and there are a couple of you get to learn lots of things. You get so you get your mentors, industry mentors. So there are a couple of aspects of learning through Microsoft Azure, right? So these are the ways by which you can get these Azure credits for free. And just try to by any chance you start with Azure and you get charged. Suppose you get a bill of maybe $400 $500 का bill आ जाता है, तो क्या करना चाहिए as a student? Do not panic. Never ever pay them. Again, I'm saying to you, do not spend. Maybe if you get some kind of do not panic. First of all, if you spend something kind of $5,000 or $6,000 also in the Azure credits, do not panic. You can simply talk to the customer team, their customer service or support team. Tell them your case, that you are learning, you were doing the learning purpose, and you do not know, you do not have enough knowledge of Azure. You are right now just exploring Azure aspects, and you are in a learning phase, you are a college student and you can't pay this amount. They will 100%, they will just 100%, let you go for free. It's not like they are going to charge you anything. They will let you use again. They will, by self, they will give you some kind of credits, right? So this has been, I have seen one of my friend got charged around 4 lakh of rupees, right? He was so panicked, he was kind of like frustrated, and he started arranging that those 4 lakh rupees from his friends. I When he asked me about the money, I told him, right, I asked him, what why do you want this much money, right? He told me that this is the case. I don't You do not need any money, right? They do not let you. I just set it up. I have dropped an brief email to the customer support, showed them my college ID and everything. They let me go for free, right? They never ask me for the money, right? So this is the benefit of exploring Microsoft Azure. You never get charged, right? If you are a student, right? It's like you can use everything for free and you can always pass it. So this is the best thing about the Azure cloud. Now, when I say Azure, how to learn Azure? So you can just simply search for maybe the. So there are two ways to learn Azure. First, you can always go through these long YouTube videos. So if you'll search for maybe the. So uh, if you'll go to youtube.com and you will search for Microsoft Azure fundamentals, right, you will see so big courses, right? Hours of courses are present in the industry. Microsoft Azure tutorial for beginner. If you will just search this on the YouTube, see 43 videos playlist. Again, this is not a one video. Like, again, 40 video playlist, 88 video, 36 video, 34 videos, 7 8 hour course, right? And I'm not sure, right, if this is relevant for you or not, right? So it's again, this 11-hour video course, 8-hour video course. I'm not pointing out any of the video course, but the best way I believe to learn Azure is just open portal.azure.com. First step is get your credits. अब सबसे पहले अपने Azure credits claim करें, right? There is one more way that I forgot. Apply to MLSA program. Apply to MLSA program. You will get $150 Azure credits every month for free. $150 per year you will get this for free. So suppose if you want to learn virtual machine today. Today's topic is virtual machine, right? So you can just simply go to maybe create a resource, right? You can simply click on the virtual machine, right? Or maybe so you can search here virtual machine. And if you do not know what are the things that are written over here, right now, what to do? You came here. Now what to do? What is this basic? What is this? What is this networking? What is this management? Do not panic, right? If you will go to a video course, they will tell you, they will teach you this concept in hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours. But how you have to learn smart? First of all, everything, like what is this? If you want to know what is this availability option, click on this I button. It will tell you the definition. Azure offers a range of options for managing availability and resilience. This. It will give you the entire definition right over here. Click on this I option. This is the best way to learn Azure. Do not go to any kind of YouTube course or any kind of entire long documentation. If you want to explore more, feel free to, but this should be your first way to learn. Just try to go hands on directly, right? This is the best way to learn Azure, right? So uh and this is right. So like what is how you can just limit. And another good way is, if you want to learn this, what is this image in what is this, suppose I want to learn what is this image in maybe this Azure, right? So what I can do, I can go to ChatGPT. I can ask what's an image in VM, what's an image of VM in Azure. Explain. Never ever forget to give it a context, right? Because this will explain me with real uh, time example. I'm telling you the prompt engineering kind of stuff. So again, this comes under the generative AI thing, right? You should know how to write the prompt. What's an image of VM in Azure? Explain me with a real time example of me studying in school and how it can be relevant. Now it will give you an example. So it will give you an example. It allows you to run operating machine. This imagine you are a student who needs to run specific software or tools for your coursework, but your personal computer doesn't meet the requirement in this. In case you now, this is what you can do. This is creating a VM. It will explain you all these terms with a real-time example. So this is how you should learn. You should write your prompts, right? So this is how you write your prompt. So again, just provide the context so that you can generate some really good output. Again, one more maybe kind of a tool hack that I'm dropping in the chat. So if you will see, right now I'm working on the Chat GPT 3.0. I'm not on 3. This is a free version of Chat GPT. It is not paid version. Right now I'm working on the free 3.5 version, right? But if you will see, there is something different with my Chat GPT. You can see these templates right over here. What are these templates? These are the prompt templates. So suppose if I'll tell you, this prompt template has been written by someone named Zuma, and this has been utilized by 10.9 million people. So what you do is just click on this, write your keyword generative AI, and it will give you without any kind of plagiarism, without any kind of other stuff, right? Without any kind of copied content, it will really give you some great to see how briefly it is exploring, right? How briefly it is exploring the generative AI concept, right? You can see this right over here. So you just have to switch on these templates, right? And how can there are thousands. So suppose, and how much time it will take for you to generate all. Suppose if I have to make a complete calendar, right? How can I just make a complete calendar? Go to this web development with React. This will give you the entire monthly calendar, right? See, this is the entire monthly calendar that this will give you. What to do, how to do. Every day it will give you some projects. So this is how you can simply learn it. How much time it would have taken for you to write this prompt, right, to generate some this kind of output, right? So this is how using. And what's the tool name, what's the extension name? Search for AI PRM for ChatGPT. AI PRM for ChatGPT. Search for this thing and you are all sorted. Search for this term and you are pretty much sorted for this generative AI stuff. Now let's move a little bit ahead and let's understand how this artificial, how this generative AI things really works and how it enforces our target. This was our course, right? So we have covered this as well. Okay, I forgot to mention one thing here. So we will also learn one more thing here. So we'll learn how. So now let's talk about this, how these prompt works and what the future of generative AI. So this Chat GPT entire thing is based upon the context setting format, and it works on the concept of NLP. I hope everyone is well aware about the NLP concept, right? So how does the NLP work? It's like you give some words. What is the full form of generative AI? I hope everyone should know the full form. Sorry, not generative AI, but the full form of GPT. It is generative pre-trained transformer. What are these transformer? These are words, right? So suppose this is Azure, we have written Azure head. So suppose you write uh, Azure for students. So now how this prompt will work, it will divide this prompt in three aspects. It will divide Azure in it will divide this particular Azure in three words. First Azure, second for, third is student. So so it particular picks up this word, right? So this is how typically it works. Now this is how it will work. Now what this will do, every word work as a transformer. And here what it does is it try to connect each and every word with particular thing. Suppose it will try to set up, when I say the generative AI try to set up the context Azure for. First of all, it will generate something for Azure. So how does the high level architecture works? You enter some prompt, right? You enter some prompt, it goes into the database. This is the database, this is the web server, this is the server. It goes into the database and it goes into this and this database server. At the same time, it goes into this OpenAI format, right? And this is connected to this OpenAI database. Now this machine, this algorithm will generate something, and again this will, what this will do, it will go to this database. Is this has been searched before as well or not? So Azure for Students has been searched before, so it will just pick out that particular answer and just directly give it to this. And if it will just check in between if there is something else that this has generated different, so it will also ask this. So here something happens, that it will also ask the OpenAI thing, that is there the OpenAI server that has been, there has been something changed or different, right? So then it will send this data to this, then this is how it will flow. So this is how typically the, the architecture works. You send some input, it will go into the database. At the same time, it go to the, it go to the machine learning model as well. It will generate some output. That output will again go to the server. It will again, there will be a bias algorithm that will work from the database. If there is some kind of difference, it will generate again, regenerate the output and send it to you, and this will send it to you. So this is how typically it works again. And it try to set up the context. Azure for means what, who, for students, for working professionals, for a kid, for a 90-year-old kid, for 10, for whom? Azure for whom? Then I'll tell you students. So it will search for the Azure for students, so then it will show you the output. So this is how the GPT things works, right? It try to set up the context, and this is all about LLMs. And what is LLMs? This is large language models. Now, how many of you think LLMs is the future, and what LLMs is a great application? If any one of you think that LLMs, large language models, has the great future, let me tell you one thing. And this is a very big stage to announce this, but LLMs are already obsolete now. No one is willing to use LLMs. No one who knows that there is no, there is no sense of using large language models. They are not using these LLMs anymore. They are not using LMs anymore, right? So what's the thing that they are using now? There is new term that is in the market, that is LAMs. Instead of LLMs, instead of using LMs, now there is something called large active models, or someone also call large active models, or they also call it as maybe large agent models, right? So anything could be different, and you can just take anything. Now we are everyone is done with this large language models, because it takes more time to run these models. It takes more output, it takes more resources to run large language models. And how large language models and large active models are different, I'll quickly show it to you with this example. Let me show it to you right over here. So I might have that template. So this is the difference between LLMs and LAMs, you can see. So the core function, you can see, first of all, it is all about the core functions. LLMs pretty much works on the language understanding that I told you, right? The context understanding, the context understanding, language generation, right? From the transformer perspective, the NLP concept comes into the play from in the LLMs perspective. But LAMs are these large agent models are pretty much work on the emotions, on the actions, right? So suppose if you search for large action models, if you search for maybe my Azure for students in through large active models, it will show you how as a student you can use it, how other students are using it. So instead of showing this, so let's take an example. Instead of giving you a blog, tell me how tell me how Azure tell me how as students can use Azure. If you put these two so there is one difference. So I'll tell you. So this red one is LLM. This red one is LAM one, and this one is LLM one, right? This one is LLM one, large language model one, and this one is LAM one, right? So if you try to maybe if you try to where is the pen? Where is the pen? Where is the pen? Where is the pen? Yeah, here's the pen. If you will input this prompt in maybe kind of, if any model that has been trained using LLMs, it will generate an article or it will give you some text output. But it will give you some text output, right? Article like this, maybe if you like the chat GPT one, like this has been trained on LLM. Tell me how students can use Azure. So you can see this will generate an output based on the text. It will write an article and give it to you. Right now we have given this prompt, that's why it's just giving this calendar and thing, right? Tell me. So but if you will give this output to an LAM, if you'll give output to this LAM, every word is working as an agent here. Every word is working as an agent. What does this agent means? It has the emotions, like how a student use Azure. So how does a student use Azure? It will show the Azure. It will show how to have Azure avail, how to avail your Azure credits as a student. It will show you how to make virtual machines. It will tell you how to make resource group. It will tell you all these stuff, right? In person, it will show you the, maybe it will generate a video, or maybe it can generate an article with particular step by step process. So there is difference between, so if I'll tell you what is the difference, what will be the difference between both the things, right? I'll tell you here. Maybe I have it here, right? So if you will see this, okay, not this one. So you can see in this article, you can see every step I have told you, right? Every step, what command you have to run, what are the steps that you have to do after onwards, right? एक एक स्टेप बहुत अच्छे से बताया कि स्टेप के बाद ये करना है, स्टेप के बाद ये करना है, इस तरीके से स्टूडेंट पढ़ रहे होते हैं. But if I have to write this from a chat GPT, it will just simply tell you this is how it works, right? So this is the difference that comes in the LLMs and LAMs. It has your inputs. It gives you the actions and reasoning. It has the ability to do complex reasoning and indexing, right? Now what is the primary strength of LLMs and what is the primary strength of these LAMs? It is more of, LLMs are more about linguistic capabilities that are written over here. So suppose a LLM can never book a cab for you, but a LAM can book a cab for you. So suppose if I'll tell my LAM model that go to airbnb.com, just go to airbnb.com and search book a room for me. So it will really book a, it will just write down the step. First of it will do the computation. How do you book a cab, right? How do you book a room, right? First of all, you go to the website, then you select the date, you select the place, select the date, select the, maybe the number of Scots, number of people. Then what it will do is budget range. Then filters, maybe something like amenities. Then yeah, book the place and payment using UPI. Every step. Now if you will give this, so if you will ask maybe a model that has been run on LLM, it will give you an article on maybe Airbnb is this will do, Airbnb will do this. But if you will same thing, if you will give a prompt to this one, it will do the entire process for you. So it's like a Jarvis for you. So you must have seen, if you are an Iron Man fan, LAMs, it's something like making a Jarvis of your own, making a Jarvis kind of a bot for your own, right? LAMs had that kind of capability. It can book a cab for you, it can order a food for you, it can book hotels, flights, and everything for you, right? This is the biggest difference between LAMs and LLM. Now, if we talk about the reasoning capabilities, these LLMs are very limited. They are very limited to the data. And usually the Z short learning doesn't happens in the LM models. But when we talk about LAMs model, they, because again it is LAMs is are about more textual plus these context, emotions, everything is involved in LAMs because these are agents. These are not language. We have agents here, right? So these LAMs has these agents. So these agents are well aware of everything, our feelings, our emotions, our context, and everything, right? So that's why they have this difference. Now, problem solving from a learning perspective, these because how LLMs will solve model and how LLMs will solve model. LLMs will just give you an output based on the data it is trained, but LLMs will understand your problem. It will plan. It will give a reason or decision based output for you. So if you do not want, if your mood is different, it will, if you are in a cheerful mode, it will understand your mood, and this is how it will do. So this is the biggest difference. It will, the context has been given to LAMs because these are agents. You have to learn this, right? And again, uh, learning approach is for LLMs is pretty much, you all know, like large data set. You have these large billions of data sets, right? And you run these models and you do some output, right? And in LAMs, it is more about pattern recognition, right? So how you can give pattern recognition? First, I have to show to an how to train an LAM model. I have to show it to my LAM model that how to book a cab. Then it will be able to book a cab. How to book a maybe this Airbnb hotel. It will understand my cookies through my mouse pointers wherever I click, whatever my data. If I click on this, then what I do? What's my next step? I just click on some pictures, or I click on some. I directly check out, or what I do. What will be my next step, right? It will just understand all the steps, right? Now the next thing that it will do, it is about application scope. See, LAMs has the best application scope. It's like the current market need that LAMs can solve, and LLMs are pretty much limited to Q&A, simple text generation, and chatbot creation. That's what the LLMs can be capable of. But LAMs can do some advanced computations. They can plan, they can execute, they can research, and they can do multiple things, right? And there is something that we use in the industry, that is AGI, artificial general intelligence. Like how much, so we have this matrix in, this generative AI field, that is AGI, by which we try to compare artificial intelligence with human. So how much near it is within human intelligence, right? So this AGI will be able to tell it. So this LAMs, it is pretty much, it's pretty much near when it comes to this LM models, right? Yeah. So now from Azure perspective, how much time I'm left with? So we have, guy, I have answer to this question. So because those YouTube live sessions are not mandatory to watch, right? I have already told you everywhere. If you will see in GitHub repository, everywhere in the blogs, in the YouTube video that I have made, everywhere it's written that the 100 days of cloud. So I have from that. So that's my mistake. I understand that it was my mistake. I did that mistake, and now from the day 12, you will see every session that I do in the 100 days of cloud series. It is entirely, it's entirely English. It's not limited to India only, right? It's entirely. I'll remake these videos if you are that much frustrated. I'm really sorry for that frustration, but I'll remake these videos. I'll put those on the YouTube live session. But I believe if you are watching those live sessions again, it doesn't make any sense. I keep telling everyone that please go to the blog that I have written, not to the YouTube live session, because these YouTube live sessions uh, are pretty much made for the people who are present in the live session. If you are watching these live sessions later, there is no sense of watching a live session later. I'm very clear about this. If you are watching a live session after 1 day, 2 day, there is no sense of watching a live session, right? So, and for the session that I've already did for these 10 days of, bar that I have date till day 10, it was like Hindi plus English, my local language Hindi plus English. I'll remake those videos. That's why if you will go to the Azure Developer Community YouTube handle, right, you will not see the playlist, right? You will not see a playlist. I'll make a playlist, I'll upload it to YouTube, and I'll just give me some time. I'm pretty busy with some couple of stuff, right? I'll just quickly make those videos and upload it into the YouTube. Do not worry about this. I'm really sorry for your frustration stuff. I really understand, but I'll urge you to follow the GitHub content, not the I'm not the Azure expert, right? I just share the right resource. I'm a resource guy. I share the right resource, and whatever knowledge I have, I try to share in the industry. I might be a little bit experienced from some regions in the Azure because I've been working in Azure for maybe more than 2 years now. So I might be little bit experienced from that per se, but there are industry experts who are doing this from maybe 15 years, 20 years, right? So it's not like you can only watch my videos. If you want to explore any other videos, feel free to. I'm not stopping you. It's totally your choice, individual choice. But for these 10 videos, I'll make a separate videos and I'll upload day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5 till day 10. I'll upload all the videos in 100% English. And now all the 100 days of cloud series, we have started doing all the 100 days of cloud series in English only. So if you want to join today's session, join us at 8 p.m. onwards. You will see, you will learn something today, right? This is it is all about. So feel free to join if you want to join the live session. But please do not watch please do not watch these 100 days of live session. If you do not watch it live, I'll use it simply. Please do not watch. There is no sense of watching a live session later, maybe 1, 3, 2 days later, right? Now let's stick to our point, right? Let's stick to our point where we were. So we have already covered the LAMs and LLMs model. Right now, let's see what we have covered. This is already we have covered that LAMs are the future of the industry. Then what are the future applications I can see? I can see from my per se, these LAMs are still to be these. There needs to be a bifurcation in the industry that needs to be that is still yet to exist in the market. You will see, right now you will see, that all these models are already present. Everything is present in the industry, but no one is able to identify the real right use case of these AI or machine learning models that are already present in the market. So I'm really wondering how people will be able to, more than a automation perspective, people will be able to solve the problems, right? Automation can definitely be one part of artificial intelligence and generative AI, but not from a replacement perspective. I do not agree with those people who really say that AI will replace your job and try to sell you those 99 rupees or maybe $10 or maybe $100 or maybe $500 courses to you. Do not ever try to buy those courses. You can't learn. Everything is available on the internet for free, right? Do not ever buy any course on the internet, right? And so how I see the future application is AI. There will be some kind of maybe a defined use case which I see that will come through this LAM thing, right? There will be some more. There might be possible that after some time this LAM will also get obsolete, right? But I see there is a future. So if you are just starting now, start with LAM, not with LLMs. I'll say, okay, start with LAMs. Now if I'll say how we can just start with Azure machine learning stuff. It is pretty much very simple. You can just claim your Azure credits. Then you can just simply machine learning studio, go to this Azure, search for Azure machine learning. So I have already created a demo account, but I'll quickly show you how to create a demo account. Click on new workspace, click on create, click on new workspace, create a resource group. Now what is a resource group? It's like set of resources that are present in the group, right? So suppose I've already written a blog on this resource group, but I'll quickly tell you what does the resource group looks like, right? What is a resource group? Resource group is something like, I'll show it to you here. Resource group is something like, so this is HR domain, this is HR, this is prod, this is HR, this is prod, this is dev, and this one is this one maybe this one can be marketing. So this is HR, this is prod, this is dev, this is marketing. Whatever resource, whatever hiring you are doing inside the HR domain, they will do the work inside the HR bubble. The production folks or production work will do inside the production bubble. They will do, the developers will write the code and everything inside the development team, and here the marketing folks will do all the work in marketing team, right? So you have divided all these teams from a hierarchy perspective, from a discipline perspective, from a better agile model perspective. You have divided all these teams, right? The same thing works in the Azure as well. Suppose if you have any resource, any Azure service that is only applicable for HR domain, you will put those service in that particular resource group. Suppose if you want any particular kind of, if you want Azure functions, if you want maybe Azure function and Azure databases, so you'll make a resource group for this particular service and you will run this. If you want a virtual machine for a website purpose, you will make a virtual machine, you will set up a DNS, and you will host it on maybe any kind of domain, right? That's it. This is your front end. If you only want to front, this is your front end part. This can be your back end part. There can be only database where is your SQL. So you are coupling all the resources. What are resources individually are Azure services. So what is a resource? Azure machine learning is a resource. Azure function is a resource. Every service that you see in Azure is considered as a resource. One resource can be a part of a single resource group. It's not like Azure SQL database or maybe Azure Cosmos DB is a part of maybe a deployment resource group. At the same time, it is part of a production resource group. It's not possible. One resource group can be a part of only one resource. One resource can be a part of only one resource group. Okay. Now, so I have already created these resource group. You can I'll simply click on try. It's not, resource group is nothing. It's simple coupling. It's simply like a group of resources, and you are just making different groups so that you can put these labels like why I'm using this resource, what is this group is all about, what are the things that are involved. These are red balls, these are green balls, so you're just naming it. These are green balls, these are red balls, these are blue balls. You are just making a group of all these things, right? This is what the simplest information about the resource group, right? Now, if we talk about workspace details, you just have to give your name. ML models. You can define the region where you want to deploy. If for the lower latency, you can just choose the Indian region, right? Central India, right? So whatever region you are comfortable with, like I'll choose South India, right? It is fine. Storage account is named with this. Select. So this is the storage account that it will create a new, right? You can create a new resource storage account with a name here, like ML storage account for demo. Like it is a local, you can again, if you want multiple, if you want this storage account to be present at multiple regions, you can always make it look like this, right? Just click on save. And key vault, what is this key vault? Again, key vault is something so where you will secure your keys, your credentials, your passwords, your certificates and everything. So key vault is something like a locker. It's something like a locker. So while you will be working in Azure, right, you will be having multiple passwords, you will be having multiple usernames, you will be get multiple SSH keys, right? So there needs to be some place where you will store it, right? You can't save it locally, you need it on cloud, right? So that's why there is something called key vault where you can save all these maybe kind of a resources, all these passwords and certificates, everything, right? This is what the key vault means. You can always click on this I button. This will help you maybe understand it, right? But application insights, this is more from a monitoring perspective, like if your machine is deployed or not, how it is working, it's working or not, everything, right? Now I'll simply click on create this, and I'll just simply click on the create button. I'll click on create button. So while I was telling you, there are two ways by which you can run all the open source model. Either you go to maybe this you can go to simply huggingface.co, right? You can simply go to the huggingface.co and you can search for the models, and you will find all these models like Mistral AI. You will find right over here. You can copy this model, you can run in your local system. But again, if your system is not that much efficient, if it's not having a graphics card, it will take ages to run this model, right? It will take ages to run this model. So what the other approach that you can do, you can just simply make an Azure account, deploy a machine learning, create a virtual machine, create a machine learning workspace, right? And let's wait for this, and then you can use an open source model from Azure directly. I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you. Just give me a second. Let this thing deploy, then I'll show it to you quickly. So suppose if you want to use Llama model, right, you will find Llama model in Azure as well. So it's taking a little bit time. Deployment takes a little bit time, right, in Azure. So after this get deployed, I'll show it to you quickly. So till then, I'll show this with an example, right? So I might be having some. So I keep these examples with me so that I can explain it to you how the Azure architecture works when it comes to the Azure AI search. Let's talk about the Azure AI search. Suppose a platform like ChatGPT 4.0, a platform like Perplexity.ai, which gives you some output, some kind of links about how this is working. As I told you, there is this application or UX interface, or this can web maybe any kind of website. This goes to the web server or any kind of Kubernetes or any kind of orchestrator, whatever you are using. Then there is this query language that you pass through AI search, and this goes to the database. It searches for the database and gives the output, right, to this AI search. And along with this Open AI Azure Open AI service, you get some prompt plus knowledge response, and both these gets combined. So there is one step missing, right, in this architecture. This gets combined, and it will give you the output. So this is how typically the high level architecture really does. And when we talk about the data ingestion, this is what we were talking about. So suppose you have to make up. So let's learn this with an example of, if you have to maybe explain a fifth class, maybe a ninth class chapter of carbon compounds. You have this entire chapter of carbon compounds. You have this PDF of the entire chapter carbon compounds, and you have to make a summary out of it. How your tool will make a summary? First of all, your entire chapter will be broken into files, into pages, right? Then it will get uploaded to Azure Blob. Azure Blob is something like where there is no relational database. Azure Blob is a non-relational database. There is no kind of it's not like a table. It's not a tabular format, right? It randomly stores through the indexes. There is no, maybe it's like a where your images for any kind of unrelational database, for you do not need any kind of maybe labels or whatnot. You use Azure Blob, right? So it will store your database into Azure Blob. Then every blog will be divided into sections. Every page will be divided into different sections. Now these particular sections will be inputted to Azure AI search, and these AI search will search for every index will search for it. Here is the example. This is the PDF you have uploaded. It will divide every PDF into all these pages. Then these pages will individually be divided into particular section. Then this section will go to Azure AI search. Then this Azure AI search will do the inference, and it will take some output and it will give it to you, right? So this is how. So if you will see, so I have written this code right over here. If you will see, what I was doing is I was creating the search index. So right over here, I was creating the search index. Then in the next step, I was uploading the blob, right? I was uploading. So this is the file name. You can see this is the file name I have uploaded here, right? Then what was the next step? Query by user, Azure AI search में गया, it will go through the Azure OpenAI, send to Azure OpenAI, including the metadata, and then it will give me the answer. The query will give me the answer. Now, what's the next step? It will just search for the inputs, right? Whatever the query type. So you can see there is kind of a semantic type of query written over here. So what does this semantic mean? So there is so when it comes to a machine learning, it is the very important term when we talk about the semantic search. Semantic search is more from if you talk about industry per se, it's kind of a search engine capabilities which includes kind of understanding of kind of a words understanding from searchers intent. So it's kind of a utilizing what you really want to search, right? And their search context, this just tools try to search your intent. It just try to understand your context, and with by connecting these word particularly, right? So this is what the semantic search means. So it is through natural language processing. It is trying to understand the entire context accurately, right? So we are just doing the query type semantic search here, right? Then yeah, so this is what that is happening right over here. What it is doing, you have this user coming in, and you might be anyone of this. You can be on your on premise, you can use an IT device, right? Or it can be a IT device data, or it can be a data that goes on through maybe any kind of public cloud system, right? Maybe it can be Azure. So do not get confused this IoT devices. What I mean by IoT devices is like uh, suppose it's if there is something kind of weather forecasting tool, right? How it does, there is an IoT device that is already present, right? The IoT, suppose there is a weather forecasting tool, that is IoT device that will detect the weather. So it will detect this weather using Raspberry Pi. It will detect the weather, and this will collect the data and it will send the data, right? So this is the IoT device that is directly interacting with the user. What is the user? Environment is the user here, right? This data will go, this data will go to this Azure, and now it's totally up to you what kind of data. So it can be a data lake, it can be a data warehouse. But a data warehouse, data lake is something that is non-relational. Everything you are just putting in a, no, it is flowing everything. Data lake is, as the name suggests, right? The data lake is something like you are not really considered about your relational thing and everything, right? You are just putting a stack through it, right? But you want a continuous flow. It is like very active data you are having. It's not like you save a data, you let it be there for maybe next 30 months, 40 months, 50 months, right? It is kind of a very quick data that you really want, right? But it's data warehouse, you bundle everything in orders. So it's not like you put everything and bundle everything. It's not like a heap where you put everything is stacked. There are particular boxes that have been formed. This is what the data warehouse means, right? And or there might be a case that you where you be using transaction data. Suppose you are an UPA organization, right? Suppose you manages the entire, maybe the phone pay, right? Suppose it's phone pay, right? So how we do it, you might be having transaction data. You will utilize this data, you will see what kind of enterprise usage you can do using that data. Suppose you are a phone pay, you see your that user is very, so suppose Lakshit is now today, Lakshit has done some investment using Grow app. Lakshit has paid, maybe 500 rupees or maybe 5,000, or Lakshit has invested 5,000 rupees in this particular app, which is a stock trader app. So now means that, what it means, that Lakshit is interested in investing. So it will show me through generative AI, it will show me the ad through generative AI, it will show me some better ways, it will show me better news, right? It will show whatever my type is, right? Again, the business had this power to decide whatever it want to give out, they want to generate output value from, right? So suppose go to the resource, our deployment is complete. I'll quickly show it to you where you can find all these templates for free. You have to make a resource, then it will give you this Microsoft Azure link, right? Where you can Microsoft Azure Studio access, where you can do all these search for free. Not for free, but it will take maybe all these software for free. Now this is what the Microsoft Machine Learning Studio looks like, right? So I was talking about this. You can make Ask Wikipedia app. You can make a multi-round Q&A. You can make Q&A using your own data, right? You can make a Q&A using, so the web classification. So these are multiple generative web prompt flow that you can always make. These are very quick bots that you can always make. These are the generative AI models, right? If you will see the model catalog, see here, watch it here quickly. Llama 2 API is already available. This Mistral AI, Tycoon, OpenAI, Whisper, Deci, Decipher Code, Databricks, Llama, all these available code, Llama, all these models of Llama is available. GPT-4 is available. Chat completions for Turbo is available. So all these models are available. You can just have to click on this. Then you have to define your use case. You will get the endpoint. You have to hit the endpoint every single time. So you have to copy. You have to just start maybe just deploy the model. You have to start deploying the model. If I deploy it now, it will take some time. Right? Create the endpoint, generate the endpoint, use that endpoint for every time a user hits your maybe user request for that, for any particular kind of stuff, right? And you can utilize this stuff. So this is particular kind of a template stuff where you can utilize all these things for free as a tool. Everything is available right over here in this tool, right? So do it like this. And again, designer is available where it will give you the high level architecture, like how it looks like, right? So suppose maybe if it's like a image classification, right, it will give you the image like how your learning model looks like. So if you are a non-coder, right, it will tell you how you can make it. If you are non-coder, so you can just code it using this, right, as well. It's not like you should need at least some level of understanding of code, but you can always utilize this as designer as well, right? It's kind of logic based. So yeah, this is pretty much about that. You can always explore all these jobs, components, pipelines, create a pipeline, automated machine learning. So there are a couple of things that this machine, and do not forget to delete the resource. Just mark my words. After you done with this resource group, click on delete. After delete this resource permanently. After you are done with this particular thing, Make sure you delete this resource, otherwise it will keep deducting your credits, right? This is how simply you can always explore the Azure AI, Azure Generative AI part. This is the best way by which you can get started. Talking about the Azure AI Odyssey series, it's more often. So now if I'll show you Azure AI Odyssey, so there is this initiative of Microsoft that is going in. You can always click on this initiative. You can always explore this initiative, right? uh, So this is the Azure AI Odyssey series. You can always participate in this AI skill challenge that is going on. You will get certificate after completion of each level. There are 2 levels total. The best part of it, you will make 3 projects using this challenge. In 3 hours, you will make projects. So one is based on the language API, Azure AI language. Second is on Azure AI Vision. Third is on Azure AI document intelligence using Azure Form Recognizer. So it is the very, very brilliant tool that Microsoft has, Azure Form Recognizer, right? So try to make 3 projects. So if you want to just, instead of putting some random things on your resume, like, vice president at this ACM chapter, or vice president at GFG club of this particular thing, or vice Azure developer lead, community head, yeah, yeah. Instead of putting irrelevant things in your resume, put these real time projects in your resume. This will help you out to build something. It will this definitely stand you out of the crowd. So build your project like this and you're all set. Yeah, that's it for today. If you have any doubt, any query, feel free to reach out to us. There is one more thing that I just wanted to show to you. That guy was talking about, someone was very frustrated that I've done some sessions in Hindi plus English. I'm really sorry for that. If you're still listening to me, I'll be re-recording those sessions. I didn't knew that you guys are watching the live sessions, and on maybe on a repetitive, right? You are watching those live sessions. I'm really sorry for that. If you are watching these, I'll re-record those stuff. No harm for me. Right now, I'll show it to you, like what's the AI skill challenge. So this is the GitHub link that you can always follow. Try to explore this. So this is the 100 days of cloud series, which we are doing every day. We are picking up one topic and we are learning. So these are the resources that I'm providing. Don't get overwhelmed by the resources that I have shared over here. Pick up one topic, pick up, learn from this blog link, try to explore this Microsoft Azure link, or if there is anything else that you want to explore, feel free to explore. So this is the link that I could share. And again, if you want to explore it more, I'll share you one more very important stuff, right? Just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. I'll quickly show it to you. I'm just wanted to show you one resource so that you can get all the links, like you can get registered for this event and you can start your journey of 100 days of cloud. AI Odyssey series I've already shared with you all. In the comment section, you can find the link tray link. Uh, Here you go. Here you can find all the links of maybe the 100 days of cloud series. Here you can get the details of the 100 days of cloud series. Plus, if you want to explore if you want to explore the generative AI part, I'll quickly share it with you. The AI Odyssey series. Let me share you the link tree. Mm. So this is the Linktree link that you can always follow. So try to explore this Linktree link and complete all these challenges. So that's it for today. Thank you everyone for joining in. Have a nice day. Thank you. Bye bye.